Welcome back to Hill Update. Joining me on the show today is Jocelyn Bamford. So the leader goes on to talk about the standard of living, right? Well, it's down when Americans have gone up. You may be noticing that there. So you want to talk about that? I mean, is there a different mentality with the bureaucracy down there versus ours? And just any thoughts you have?
100%. When we decided to open up a plant here, economic development in Suffolk was amazing. They were like, "How can we help you?" They look at their companies as job creators, not criminals. In Canada, if you want to expand, they're like, "Oh, they will. You have to do this, you have to do that," and they treat you like you're a criminal. Just the basic attitude down here is so much better and so much more refreshing. They want people to bring jobs. They want to help you expand, and they work with you as a partner to do that. Not come in a very confrontational way that the bureaucracy has in Canada, and especially on the municipal level, and that's basically a leadership, right? The leadership tells the bureaucrats what the direction is, and if they are welcoming to business and they see business as a friend and a way to grow the economy and jobs, that attitude prevails. If they say that businesses are criminals, that attitude prevails.
So what's your concern? I mean, what's happening in the manufacturing sector? Then are companies leaving? Are they reinvesting? Is it, what combination? What's going on with manufacturing in Ontario?
I'll just tell you about the Coalition of Concerned Manufacturers Business. We had a board of 12 people. None of them had locations in the U.S. Now over half of them have locations in the U.S. And not because they wanted to, but because there wasn't the environment to grow there. And there's a lot more opportunities down in the U.S. We will continue to keep our Canadian location because that's where our heart is. But our growth is very much focused on the U.S. and opportunities that are there.
Okay, let's check a video for the week at the House of Commons.
In fact, the economy is smaller today than it was 5 years ago on a per capita basis, and the IMF projects Canada will have the worst economic growth over the next 6 years and the next 40 years. This is the result of high tax hypocrisy. The Environment Minister, it now comes out after he punishes single moms and small business owners and farmers for heating their homes and driving their vehicles. He has flown 60,000 kilometers. His climate change chair has flown the equivalent of going around the world 4 times, and now they're off with 70,000 other people at a air-conditioned dome in the desert in a petro state, Mr. Speaker. Why won't they park the jet, end the hypocrisy, and axe the tax?
The Honourable Minister for Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, there is one number that the Conservative leader will not talk about, Mr. Speaker, is that Canada ranked 3rd in the world for foreign direct investment. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, just yesterday, Dow Chemical announced one of its largest investment in 126 years in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, Mr. Speaker. This is going to be thousands of jobs, hundreds of thousands of hours of construction, Mr. Speaker. This is how you lead the economy. This is how you lead a country. This is how do you lead to bring investment in this country, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so the Minister of Industry or Innovation says that we are the top 3 countries in the world for direct foreign investment. That would take a whole segment, but a recent study from the Fraser Institute says that business investment, inflation adjusted, says that investment per worker has actually decreased by 20%, while it's almost grown by 15% in the U.S. So 2014, businesses invested 79 cents per worker for every dollar in the U.S. That number is 55 cents. We got just a minute left in this segment. Talk about the mentality of investment in the U.S. versus Canada. And you were talking about it a bit in the last segment as well.
Right, absolutely. You don't have the punishing taxes that they have, the clean fuel standards, carbon taxes, and this in a country, Canada, where you have less than 1.4% of greenhouse gases. And so they want manufacturing to leave. I'm convinced of it. They want the resource sector to leave, and they have nothing to replace it. And it could be so much different if we had investment in our resource sector. And remember, manufacturing relies on affordable energy. If we don't have affordable energy, we don't have a manufacturing base. And manufacturing also is partnered in the resource sector because many of our fabricators and manufacturers make parts and pieces for the resource sector. So if you take down those 2 sections, I don't know what you're going to have left. And when you talk about investment, why don't we back out the investment that the taxpayer through subsidies like the EV battery plant in Ontario are paying for? Let's take that all out and see what the foreign investment, which isn't subsidized by the taxpayer, is.
Okay, great thoughts. Let's go to break and we'll come back and finish up with the last segment.